Welcome to the eSports Report. On today's show, we take a look at the latest developments in the LCS.
20% HP.
We follow the frag bite action at the 2013 Masters Cup.
From Kyoshima, but then Freiburg comes right back.
And take a trip over to Sweden for STARCRAFT and CSGO.
Ja, det verkar ju faktiskt som att...
Hello again and welcome to the eSports Report, where we bring you all of the latest developments in the world of competitive gaming. I'm Chris Puckett, joined as always by Desi Sanchez. And Desi, this week saw League of Legends take the stage with a number of big tournaments.
Absolutely. This weekend, Riot Games kicked off the Battle of the Atlantic in Cologne, Germany. In addition, 3 European amateur teams collided against the 6th through 8th ranked European teams from Season 3 in the EU LCS for a chance of playing in the upcoming Season 4 Spring Split. And finally, the North American Challenger League concluded after 2 straight months of play. The top 5 teams from the NA region faced off against their EU counterparts across the pond in Riot's Battle of the Atlantic. The tournament pits LCS teams from both regions against one another to see which has spawned the very best players in the game. Play kicked off Saturday with North America's Dignitas versus the recently renamed Alliance representing Europe. Alliance dominated Dignitas and went on to end the game with a poorly mannered fountain stall, highlighting just how mismatched the two teams were. Alliance later issued a public apology for the play. Team Solo Mid showed similar dominance over the completely new Lemon Dogs roster, earning 2 points for NA to take the lead 2-1.
I think they have potential. Lemon Dogs, they have shown that they aren't that bad, and a little bit more work, and they probably could be a top LCS team.
Play resumes Friday with CLG taking on Alternate and culminates in a rematch of the World's quarterfinal with Cloud9 and Fnatic on Sunday.
Out of the challenger scene, Copenhagen Wolves, KMT, and Super Hot Crew XD rose up for a chance to be in the EU LCS for Season 4. The biggest surprise came Sunday as KMT swept the much-favored NIP roster to qualify for the upcoming season. Alongside KMT, Copenhagen Wolves replaced Meet Your Makers, but SK Gaming hold on to their spot with a 3-2 defeat of Super Hot Crew XD.
And to fill the off-season, the North American Challenger League was assembled, where the top 10 teams without a guaranteed LCS spot gathered to compete. This included summer split teams Curse, Coast, and Velocity eSports. After 2 months of round-robin play, Coast and Complexity emerged above the competition in the postseason playoffs to meet in the finals. Despite Complexity leading early, some miscommunication in a team fight turned Game 1 in Coast's favor. The two teams then traded Games 2 and 3 to move the series to 2-1.
They want to go for champion kills. Mega Zero goes in, gets caught out once again, picked up before the fight even starts. Now it's Ninja Cat running in, going down, taken away. Once again, there's no team fight there.
Shifters Ari got off to a great start in Game 4 to help Coast lock up the series and secure the title of NACL champions.
Congratulations to Team Coast on their victory. And in order to get some expert insight on all of the League of Legends activity last week, we sat down with Riot's own Trevor Quickshot Henry.
Hey guys, my name's Trevor Henry, also known as Quickshot. I am a full-time shoutcaster for Riot Games, covering the awesome League of Legends. The two key elements that determined the 3-0 victory for KMT was that KMT played patiently and controlled, which is something that a lot of amateur teams don't execute very well. And at the exact same time, the Ninjas in Pajamas, with a relatively untested roster, simply didn't have in-game leadership to make decisive calls. They could have been making bad calls and committing to fights and objectives, but simply no calls were being made. The Lemon Dogs as a team has far more weaknesses than strengths at this point in time. The performance that we've seen against TSM in the Battle of the Atlantic was abysmal, to say the least. I feel that their picks and bans were incorrect and they were making assumptions that don't necessarily fit the meta. I feel the decision making in game was problematic and they weren't adjusting to their opponents. So going into the LCS, if the roster sticks together and the Lemon Dogs are committed to developing this team, they have to learn a lot of the basics. They have to practice their 2v1s. They have to get up to speed with champions, picks and bans and current meta trends, and they really have to play the catch-up game before they're going to be any sort of threat to the current LCS teams. The biggest surprise from last weekend's Battle of the Atlantic and LCS promo series has to be Ninjas in Pajamas completely crumbling under the pressure. I feel like a lot of the games where the predictions were made ended up coming true. SK versus Super Hot Crew was going to be the closest match. It went 3-2. Alliance stomping Dig was predicted and TSM stomping Lemon Dogs was predicted. But nobody predicted Ninjas in Pajamas going completely the opposite direction. A lot of the pros we spoke to leading up to it said this is going to be NIP winning 3-0. And after talking to the players, realizing the pressure got to them, the weight of potentially losing their jobs, and unfortunately having all the roster swaps of losing to Fissio and losing Bjergsen counted against them. TSM has 100% improved their roster. There's no doubt in my mind that the inclusion of Bjergsen to replace Reginald is a step in the right direction. Bjergsen does many of the same things that Reginald does. He can split push, he can play all-in assassins, but he also adds to the champion roster that TSM can draw from in the mid lane. Their rotations were good, their calls were good, their in-game decision-making was superb. And I feel like if TSM can continue channeling that style of play, they are going to be a massive threat in the North American LCS next year. And I am officially going on record to say that I think Cloud9 may want the win more, and my gut is telling me that they have a good chance at taking Fnatic out. Thanks for chatting. If you guys want to follow me or hear more, feel free to follow me at Riot Quickshot on Twitter.
Nice, that's kind of a bold prediction. Cloud9 over Fnatic.
He's a smart man. Well, guys, this weekend, Challengers Determined Gaming, The Walking Zed, and Cognitive Gaming face off against Season 3 LCS teams Evil Geniuses, Coast, and Curse to determine who will represent the league in Season 4. The teams that don't secure an LCS spot this time around won't be missing in action though, but will be joining Riot's new sponsors Coca-Cola and Coke Zero in their sponsored amateur league.
Well, that's what's going on in the League of Legends world. Now, for fans of PlanetSide out there are some notable improvements headed your way. Operation Make Faster Game, or OMFG for short, hits Phase 2, bringing some serious improvements to the physics systems in-game and a huge revamp of the continent of Esamir. Now's the perfect time to get into PlanetSide 2 if you haven't already, so just head on over to planetside2.com and learn more.
OMFG, gotta love it, Higby.
Now, when we come back, we break down the results from the Fragbite Masters Cup.
She's picking up one as well. Flaren gonna get the...
Recap the MLG Call of Duty 2K Series tournament.
Somebody please stop this, man.
And we sit down with Solid Jake to talk Smash Brothers.
Just kind of acknowledge it as an esport.
Welcome back to the eSports Report. Now, guys, before we go any further, we want to take this opportunity to let you know that MLG is finally unleashing its own Xbox avatar items on the Xbox Live Marketplace. Make sure to pick up your MLG avatar t-shirt as well as an MLG main stage set complete with Pro Circuit trophy and animation. Look at this little guy. He's so cute. You know you want one, Desi.
I'm gonna get 5.
Number 1. Trophy party. Yeah, go download those, guys. Anyways, moving on. Last weekend, the 2013 Fragbite Masters Cup was held, featuring top-level play in Dota 2 and Counterstrike Global Offensive. On the Dota 2 stage, Fnatic and Alliance squared off in a clash of the Titans for the title of champion. Alliance has been the most successful Dota team in 2013, taking home 6 first-place finishes in premier tournaments heading into the Fragbite Finals. Fnatic had 5 top 2 finishes to their name in 2013 and gave Alliance all they could handle in the highly anticipated match. The two teams battled back and forth through the best-of-3 series. While Fnatic took a small lead after the laning phase in Game 3, Alliance proved too strong in the team fights and edged out a 41-minute victory with a kill score of 25-19. Alliance takes home over $15,000 for their effort, while Fnatic will walk away with $7,800.
All right, Alliance showing them how it's done. Meanwhile, over in the world of fighting games, the best players from around the world gathered in San Francisco for the day-long marathon known as the Capcom Cup. The tournament featured Street Fighter vs. Tekken, Marvel vs. Capcom 3, and Super Street Fighter 4 Arcade Edition, with 20 grand up for grabs across all 3 games. EVO champion Infiltration claimed the first win of the day in Street Fighter vs. Tekken, going completely undefeated in his run to the finals, finishing off with a 3-0 win over Tampa Bison. NY Chris G took home the Marvel vs. Capcom title, while Sako put on a crowd-pleasing performance and won in dominating fashion to take the Arcade Edition trophy.
He goes for the shenanigans, and he's got it from the front. Sako no go! He takes Capcom Cup 2013 in dominating fashion.
At the end of the day, Infiltration walked away with 6 grand, while Chris G and Sako took home $3K each.
Taking a look at Call of Duty, in this weekend's MLG 2000 series, we saw Curse Las Vegas meet Complexity in the finals. With former Impact teammate Killa Nui on Curse and Karma on Complexity, this was a reunion of the COD World Championship roster and a rematch of the Complexity versus Impact rivalry. After Complexity took Game 1, Curse looked poised to take Game 2, Search and Destroy, on Sovereign, but Karma had other plans.
Here we go. Let's get on board with Karma. This has been the Miracle Maker in the last pass. Actually, I guess you could say 3 rounds. Karma is going to spot a little bit of hit fire there. Don't know why he did that, but he's going to go ahead and try to recover. Spots him. Oh, does not get the kill. Miracle's able to get him, but doesn't have time for the defuse.
Nah, yeah, he didn't have time for the defuse. So, yeah, you know, smart play. You know, Karma shot those shots, kind of baited him out.
Complexity claimed the W this week and the lion's share of the pro points. Curse Las Vegas, Dare 2K, and Envy round out the top 4.
And switching gears, it's been a banner year for Super Smash Bros., with a highly praised documentary being released and numerous tournaments still going strong. We sat down with Solid Jake Kulinski to discuss the recent developments.
So I'm Jake, Solid Jake Kulinski. I've worked with the Smash community since 2006. I started out as a player, like most people do, and I started running my own events. Major League Gaming brought Smash Bros. On in 2004. Esports really wasn't a thing at the time, and MLG was really just Halo 2 and Smash Bros. At the time. The end of 2006 was really good and really exciting for the community. It really felt like things were going to be great. And then in 2010, they decided to bring Brawl on the circuit. We had a lot of good attendances. We had, people, maxing out the bracket. I think at 2 of our events were just about capped. It was a pretty healthy relationship for a good year, but it was short-lived and they decided to part ways. So in 2013, the community really came together to bring Smash Bros. To a larger stage. EVO 2013 was that stage. EVO put up a poll on Facebook basically asking, what game do you want to be in our final slot for the event? But basically Smash Bros. Just Melee specifically destroyed everything. It just completely obliterated all the other tournaments. To the point where EVO came out and said, no, you guys cheated. You guys must have used bots. This can't be legitimate. We're not going to use these votes. Instead, we're going to do a donation drive. I started off, I think, with 3rd strike in the lead, and Melee was pretty consistently up there. But the big obstacle ended up being Skullgirls. But the Smash community really came together, and they did what they call the Spirit Bomb, where they all got together and they ran the show on Skype, and they literally said, throw your hands in the air. It was corny but awesome, and it worked. They raised the money, and they earned that spot, and the community celebrated like none other before. I think there was around 700 entrants at the EVO tournament, and they proceeded to break EVO's records on stream. The other big event in 2013 was probably the release of the Smash documentary. The documentary basically follows 7 pro players that have played throughout the years of Melee. And the release of this documentary brought back a lot of nostalgia in a lot of people. Like, for example, DJ Weed, probably knows little to nothing about Smash Bros., but I know he watched the documentary. And I know he was blown away by it. And guys like that, guys that have been involved in esports, but never really had time to look at Smash. They really got to see what the community is all about and how strong it is 12 years later to really just kind of acknowledge it as an esport. Personally, for me, I was completely blown away. I mean, it's a big part of my history. So we're actually going to be doing a show here at the MLG headquarters where we're going to be broadcasting the entire marathon. We're going to be interviewing a lot of familiar faces, and we might have some show matches with it as well. So it's going to be a lot of fun, and I'm personally like incredibly excited. And that's going to be December 21st at 2 p.m. So you should definitely check it out. I mean, we might have some of the legends that have been around the community over the years. So December 21st, 2 p.m., MLG.tv. Check it out.
Awesome. Seems like Smash is making a big comeback.
Yeah, it's pretty awesome to see this amazing community rallying behind the game they love. Smash Marathon this weekend on Saturday. I know what I'm doing this weekend. It's going to be a fun time.
Gotta watch it. Now, when we come back, we'll be bringing you the latest StarCraft news from Team Story Cup.
To be honest, and we are very happy with our team now.
We'll take a look at Naniwa's recent results in Sweden. And of course, Puckett will break down the top 5 plays from this week in esports. Don't go anywhere.
5 moments.
Welcome back, everyone. The 3-month-long Acer Team Story Cup season came to a close this weekend in Germany. The 4 top-seeded teams from the regular season, Acer, Western Wolves, Axiom, and Liquid, made it into the playoff stage to fight for the $10,000 first prize. The finals came down to Acer and Axiom. Now, despite Nurchio's absence, Acer rolled to a 5-1 victory over their partner team thanks to their 2 Terran aces. Innovation took the first 2 games in the series, then lost to Crank. But MMA came in and took 3 straight games to secure the win for his team.
GG being called.
I say once again hi to Nurchio. And please bring the trophy for Team Acer, the winner of the Acer Team Story Cup Finals powered by Intel.
Congratulations to Acer for the win and the $10,000 first place prize. Now, Sweden is a country known for its esports enthusiasm, and one of its biggest national tournaments, the Svenska Esports Cup, entered its grand final stage last weekend. On the StarCraft 2 side of the event, Naniwa was looking to end 2013 on a high note with his first win since June. His opponent was Bishu, who took first at a Svenska Cup event earlier back in May. The Best of 5 series featured some insane finishes, including a proxy gateway build from both players that ended in a base trade with probes. Naniwa was able to persevere through the madness and take the series 3-1, securing the $20,000 first place prize.
Congratulations to Naniwa for finishing 2013 on a definite upbeat. Now, meanwhile, StarCraft 2 wasn't the only game going on at the Svenska Cup. Sweden's always been big on supporting Counterstrike, and this weekend saw some incredible CSGO action, with Ninjas in Pajamas taking on LGB eSports. All 3 sets in the finals went to at least 29 games. LGB took control of the series with a 16-14 win in the first set, but NIP won the next 2, including an epic 15-15 match point win in the second set. NIP sits solidly at first place, followed by LGB eSports, with SK Gaming and Olygon tying for 3rd.
Man, NIP has been busy, it seems, because not only did they win the Svenska Cup, but also they found time to somehow compete at the Fragbite Masters Cup. The team is one of the biggest names in Counter-Strike, and they found themselves back in the finals at Fragbite. There they faced Clan Mystic, who came into the match as one of the dark horses of the tournament. The 2 teams had never faced each other in the finals of a tournament, and NIP set the tone early by jumping out to a 10-1 lead in the first set. After closing that out at 16-3, NIP had a little more trouble in the second set. They were only ahead 2 rounds at the half, but managed to get on another roll and take the series with a 16-9 win.
Some really incredible play there from the legendary CS team. They take home first place over Mystic, LGB eSports, and Team UG. Now, speaking of incredible play, you know what time it is. It's time for the top 5 plays of the week.
That's right, so here we go, ladies and gentlemen. It is time for your eSports Report top 5 moments in eSports from last week. And coming in at number 5, we got a play from the Acer Team Story Cup, where Ryung demonstrates his mastery of more than just StarCraft.
What the hell? Really?
Yeah.
What the hell?
Ryung, he forgets to put the other hand on the table. Okay.
Such a beast.
What an amazing final of the...
Oh, but no, we come back to the right hand.
Alicia's getting into this.
Oh, did you see that face? He was making fun of Alicia.
It's all about the strategy. Coming in at number 4, it's definitely the craziest play in Dota this week. Miracles with a do-or-die base raid to beat Team Titan.
Try and get out. Are they going to TP anyone back? Where is the clockwork? Where's the clockwork? Oh, RTK doesn't have a TP skill. They're going to lose their melee racks as well. Look at Miracle doing work there. Miracle's going to hit the tier 4
he's going to lose the replicate.
Did he lose the replicate?
Yeah, he did. But he says a TP up.
He doesn't look like he's going to come back. He's going to go for the tier 4 towers here. Miracle going to do work here. Going to try and end the game. He's going to try and end the game. KOXY just buys back. They want to buy as much time as possible for Miracle. Miracle's going for the throne.
He's porting out, but Salah, he gets hooked.
Oh no, Salah gets hooked. Oh boy, Miracle's going to finish the throne.
Miracle's going to take the throne.
He's going to take the throne. Throne down to 1000 health. Throne down to 900 health. RTK comes back. Wave forms away. 300 health, 200 health.
Oh my god.
Some ridiculous there at number 4. At number 3, TSM takes on the Lemon Dogs in a 2v4 team fight with an impressive show of skill.
They are going to put it to a 2v1. Tibbers is chasing as well, and it's going to be Zirius always there in the last moment. Zirius to save Crazy Caps, and he does. Flashes over the wall. How is he 2v1ing with the Tibbers on his back as well? Wild Turtle finally picks up the kill. I'm so fresh now to try his hand. The blue buff is there. He gets a punch. Ask questions later. Turtle's going to have the red buff proc on. No, actually, the red buff wears off. The blue buff is only there, and he may be able to kite it. Wow, the kill goes down, and the Siege Minion. Blue Minion OP.
That's TSM for you. Check out my boy Crim6 in Call of Duty here at number 2. He's in total beast mode for this killing spree.
This guy is on a 4 kill streak, shooting some bodies, going big, going for another one now on a 5 kill streak. Somebody please stop this man. He's about to run out of bullets with the mini bullets as he's putting into those dead bodies. Going for another one, gets that drop shot. Goes on a 6 kill streak. Mr. X, can he go on a 7? Yes, he can.
Oh, man.
Oh, this guy can't stop him.
Crim is on a tear right now, and you know, oh my god. I mean, Crim is unreal, man. I mean, we've seen stuff like that on LAN when.
And the number 1 play this week comes from Super Smash Bros. At the Kings of Cali event produced by VG Bootcamp, when Fly Amanita has an unbelievable comeback to beat Silent Wolf Star Fox. For more great Smash content, go to youtube.com/videogamebootcamp.
He's got an up air. Oh, the dash is Nana dead? Nana's dead.
Nana's dead. Yo, if he comes back with the Sopo, he's the man. I'm calling it right now.
It's going to be super hard. Ooh. Oh, wait a minute. Wait a minute.
Wait. Oh, he's coming back with the Popo. Oh,
what?
No. Oh, are you serious?
No.
Oh my God.
No.
He's doing it.
No way. No freaking way.
No, man.
Is that it? No, he's living.
No, oh my God!
What is happening?
Oh!
He teched it! Oh my God!
Crazy.
No, it's Wilson! What is happening? Oh, that's it! Oh!
They arrest him!
That's going to do it for this top 5. Join us next week and check out our YouTube channel at youtube.com/Major League Gaming.
Nice, some great play there from Fly Amanita, and not too shabby technique from Ryung as well.
Yeah, he's a little bit of a cheater, but...
Well, let that be a lesson to all prospective arm wrestlers. Cheaters sometimes win.
He's got good strategy.
All right, well, that about wraps it up for this week. I'm sure everyone at home is going to have a very happy holiday, but you know, esports never goes on vacation. So here are some tournaments coming up this week that you don't want to miss.
That's right, of course, we have ESL's Go for SC2 tournament happening on Christmas Eve. Star Ladder continues its wildly popular Season 8 League all next week. And looking a little bit down the road, we have UMG Philly happening in January with the best Call of Duty teams in America competing there. So make sure you tune in for that one.
Good stuff. Thank you again for watching the Esports Report. From everyone here at MLG, happy holidays, and we'll see you again next Thursday at 7 p.m. ET right here on MLG.TV.